oriented, live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Commerce Show. The Commerce Show with Comrade Lante oriented, live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Commerce Show. The Commerce Show with Comrade Lante oriented, live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Commerce Show. The Commerce Show with Comrade Lante oriented, live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know.
Yes, a very good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are joining us from. This is the Comrade Show. And my name is Comrade Lamte Oriahi. And of course, as usual, we always come with matters arising. On this occasion, we are going to be dealing with some things a bit differently. For those who are following the Comrade Show, we know that the Comrade Show is majorly about national issues, about issues that have to do with development as far as Edo State is concerned and Nigeria in general. And of course, we've talked so much in recent time about insecurity, the insensitive nature of the Nigerian government and all that. But we've taken a deep look at a lot of things. There are certain things, we equally, talk about, that we're going to be talking about, quite often. And these are some of the things that plague us internally. They kind of put us on the very edge. Society has come to accept some of them, and yet we do not see the danger in what is happening, because every day more and more people are just queuing and of course getting baptized into these immoralities that definitely we sink our own ship as a people. And I think it's important that we begin to take a look at some of these aspects of our society that is plaguing us, but we are not giving too much attention to it, and yet it's just eating deep into us. I was surfing the internet, and I don't know whether it's by way of coincidence or whatever, I started seeing different footages of young men from all across Nigeria, particularly of the southern part of Nigeria, a young man driving in their cars, coming out, and mental health issues starting, and some of them start making confessional statements, and you hear people start making commentaries, Yahoo Plus, ritual killings, and stuff like that. I sat down and I looked at this phenomenon. I looked at it, with a very deep sense of duty and insight into what we are building. What is we are not taking cognizance of at this moment and all that. And what I saw is that the problem we have today that we probably concentrate on, God willing, we are able to find answers for those problems. There are others, like this issue of Yahoo Plus, ritual killings and stuff like that, that eventually, will not just go away easily, except and until and unless we start addressing these things right now. And the way to address them, they are multifaceted. The entire society is helping to build a huge tyrant, You understand what I'm saying now in this system? But before we go deep into this discourse, I want to play some footage so that we understand exactly some of the things I'm talking about that I'm trying to establish. Please just watch and listen to this.
Give her water now. Muna, hold on well now.
Well, I have lots of them, really. But what I saw here, we can easily, I mean, from what the young man was saying, I don't need your money, I don't need the car again, why are you following me, and all of that. Apparently, we can see that this lad had actually gone the extra mile, you know, what we regard as ritual killing or whatever may be involved, or but gone the extra mile, you know, extra, you know, ordinary, supernatural, invokes supernatural powers to get some money. We saw the car right there and all of that. And right now he's being played. As a society, we are all part of this problem. As a society, we applaud it. For those who say it and we clap and we kind of laugh and all of that, we are all part of it. Okay? And but we're going to be talking about this, you know, in a sense. Okay? But I want to show you another video. Many of you may have seen some of these things. We have seen them like, oh, it's normal. They become a regular thing in our site. They just pop up. We see them. We flip the page over. We move on. We see another one the next day, the next day, the next day, and all of that. Now, the imagination is, how many of our young people are actually on the queue right now? There are those who are seeking ways to join the queue. Now, this is costing us as a people. It's costing us as a nation. It's costing us. It's costing everything around us. But we seem not to understand. But we will understand as we get by. Let's take a look. Let's watch this. I have another clip.
Where are you going now?
This is another young man with a car.
What happened?
Came out of his car, and a similar scenario is about to begin. Mental health issues is setting in. He's losing it already.
Guys, madman.
Okay, that's quite it's a long footage, but I'll just leave it at that. But somebody's trying to say that it's acting. I'm not sure. I have a lot of them, compiled, and I'm not sure they are all acting. Even if we suspect there's some acting, you understand what I'm saying? But we see the trend. These guys, we see them in clubs. They buy drinks, a tray of drinks for millions of naira. Well, I mean. The other day in Benin, some of them were just, they just came out in the middle of the street and they started spraying money and all of that, you understand? And I'll tell you a story, but I have another footage I want us to see, because we're going to see a set of these footages, and of course we start discussing them. It's important because there is, I don't know, there is a moral decadence in our society, some decadence that if we don't begin to address them now, and we are all culpable. The parents of these children, the brothers, the friends, the entire community, everybody today is Yahoo Plus. We color it, we give it a coloration that makes it acceptable. They say Yahoo Plus, and all of that. So therefore, it becomes attractive. Okay, a child of 13, 14, 15 years, okay, is looking for ways to be part of this, and the whole idea is they want to drive a car. They want to spray money. They don't even know the seriousness of what they are going into and how dangerous the terrain is. Recently, I was told by some vigilante, people in Benin, in Edo State, that today, all the ritual native doctors in in some of these African countries, they are relocating to Nigeria because the business of ritual, and all is lucrative. But let's see this before we go into some details. We're not going to take too long.
Wow. So don't go. Wow. So mental. don't go.
Oh, no, I'm not thinking my mama, no.
Oh, wow.
I'm not thinking my mama, no.
Son, I'm mental.
Oh, I'm not thinking my mama. Wait.
There's a price. There's always a price, and that's what we are seeing, and that's what we're going to see even in this next footage. I will play them before we will discuss properly. But let's see this.
Where my laptop? I said where my laptop. I want to use my mouth. That's why I use my mouth. That's why I use my mouth. That's why I use my mouth. I don't use my mouth. I don't use my mouth. I don't use my mouth.
Okay, that's another footage there. Another aspect of this matter, some of the things we've seen as well. We have seen videos come out of some of the exercises they carry out and all of that. We may not know all the secrets, but this is one that took my attention as I was surfing.
I was seeing when you know,
You're a young man.
I want to start to have a
Part
I
of
want to make
it's part of those requirements.
I tell you, I want this one, Papa. I tell you, Najibas with this one. I swear. I want to see when you know, I want to start to have a woman. I want
And some people are alleging that some of these things may be staged. It's quite possible, okay? But this does not take away the reality of the threat we are faced with here. I was in Nigeria just before COVID started, and I did visit some clubs, and what I saw, some of our young men, very young men, what I saw them do with money, was such that from a personal experience, I mean, as I saw the display, at the time when I was in Nigeria, I just knew that we are in for a very big trouble, I grew up in that land. Some of those boys I saw, they are in their teens, maybe early 20s, as it were, and all of that. And what I saw them do, the gathering, the kind of ceremony, the kind of societal support, that they had, and all that they were doing. And when I left there, I remember somebody told me a story, of another person in that class, okay, who has actually done things to get money and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, one of the instructions the boy had was, every money that comes to you on a daily basis must be spent on that day. No one should go to the next day as part of the requirement for whatever was done and all of that. And that is why you could see some of them, we see videos of them, they want to do everything to ensure they spend money, possibly, and all of that. So the reality of the threat that this is to our society, we cannot run away from it. The value system of our own, our land is so much debased now. we've taken time to talk about government. We keep on talking about government and those in government. Definitely, okay, the outcome of what we see from governance, okay, these are part of the indices, part of the benefit of, wicked governance, self-centered governance, and stuff like that. You understand? But even at that, okay, for us to still maintain some little, a ray of hope that hopefully things can turn around and we can pick up the bits and pieces and move on, okay? We must begin to address things like this because these boys are born by parents. Some of their parents get to die because of what these boys are aspiring to get. Some ladies these days, if it is not a young boy with some flashy car, was this, was that, with this, with that, they're not interested and all of that. And they're not interested, they don't want to know. Okay, even when some of them know that some of these guys are into some shady arrangements, okay, and they just accept it. It's normal. You hear people. It's like when they call Yahoo Plus now in Nigeria, it's like the person is an aeronautic engineer, or is one. It's just as been accepted. You understand? And I worry. But I'm going to show us this footage before we try to round off with this discourse. It's not going to be a long one,
Start money. Do I get money? Abi. See what did happen now? Now we want get start money. No, look. The last bus stop be this one. The last bus stop be this one. Don't finish. One thing, not say again. Go back. Where is it? As we dey suffer, now say no one dey do this one. You know what work? No problem. How many months you take get the TFK? No work, Abi. There papa less your father. Abi. Yahoo boy make peace say you don't go shop shit no more. Na big boy. Na big boy now. Give us knife, no shoot him, get some people every say they rush you. Tell them one of you now. Where's Papa to do money? You don't pakolo. I think they say so. You don't pakolo like this, so you don't Papa less us. Papa drive and do this. Papa there. When they do Papa there, they steal money earlier. Now man just set time body like this, so. But they hear all the get it. We like how we don't pull over that to two. Don't pull over that to two. You want to rush your hotel. All you get the time when one guy go to rush your hotel. We say that Papa na Papa na the day. See don't pull over. Where is CK? Where is the 350? Everything is a 350. Where are the 350? All the young boy away. Where Papa? All those guys in the car boy are about to have to wait. We have to see where the Puma got to. Where Papa? There is my case. Where Papa? Where are the Israel heads? I believe I do. Where are the 350? So you know say you don't come missing. No, leave her. See that? Never compare.
This is one subject matter we cannot afford to trivialize. We cannot afford to trivialize it because a lot of our young people are getting lost in this. Some of the footages, of course, there are rumors that some of them are, stunt, are acting and stuff like that. But we know that we have real issues with this subject matter in our society. I must be particular about Edo State. I must be particular about Edo State and environs, all of those Edo, Delta, Lagos. As a matter of fact, the eastern part of Nigeria, it's like, it's the order of the day. You understand what I'm saying? And all that. But we have a problem in this, and the problem we have in this is that morality has been, thrown through the window. So nobody's interested in what is right. You understand? The important thing is, let's make money. Let's make money. The truth of the matter is that I probably want to talk to our young people, because I don't know how many people right now who are on the queue waiting to be admitted, waiting to go through, the process itself. There are different processes, possibly different requirements. Some may have to do with killing people and all of that. Some may have to do with different kinds of other things. But whichever way it is, it's very costly. At the end of the day, what amazes me is that at the end of the day, the highest car you buy is a Benz, or I don't know, CLK, a car. There are people who don't have to do rituals. They just do the right things. They still even buy the same car, even buy better cars. If people are to take you through the doors of ritual killings and these kind of things to make money quick, okay, and it's just for social aggrandizement, impression, dash some people money, do this, do that, and all of that, and at the end of the day, you either lose your life or somebody very dear to you is paying, very badly. You understand what I'm saying? So what is the use? So look, if you are from Edo State and Edo man, be guided. These are not sustainable ways of making money. We need to redirect our society. Our fathers, our mothers, the children that we are raising, what kind of values are we imparting? Because at the end of the day, the entire context is rubbing off on the entire society. And all of us who glorify this Yahoo Plus matter, the way we talk about Yahoo Plus, some of us when we do what we do, when we hear it, we're like, man, it's like, is the person, is it an architect? Is the person an established actor or a model, or we have used Yahoo Plus to become some career that is formidable, that is noteworthy. Or they say, oh, that guy on Yahoo Plus. Wait, have a lot of these young men, no fixed address, or say, this is not where they work, this is not their workshop, or this is not office where they go. They just surface one day. Okay, they have one big car. They are able to spray money here and there, carry some gas here and there, and everybody, the entire area is agog. Everybody's wishing to be like that. Everybody's encouraging everybody to be like that. This problem, okay, by the time it becomes hugely widespread, will consume all of us. All of us, not even one person will be spared. The earlier we start frowning at these kind of things, the earlier we start putting structures in place to checkmate these kind of things. And it must start from the way we are governed. It must start from the way we execute the laws of the land. But even while that is there, the roles of our fathers, our mothers, our brothers, our sisters, our friends, they are very key. Because even as we speak, everybody is not involved. There are people who are still genuine hustlers, who are hustling. Some of these children who are doing these things, they are not doing it because they are hungry. They are not doing it because they are suffering. They just do it because they want to be like, some of them want to be like others. So, what we have on our hands, I may not have, a holistic, template to discuss this matter right now, but I think it's a matter that we want to flag up from the comrade show. We want to see how we're going to begin to look at matters like this. You understand what I'm saying now? And I think too, because, pardon me, I must equally talk about our religious institutions, particularly the Christian body, because at the end of the day, almost everybody in our society, goes to one church or the other, and all of that. I think this is a subject matter that the church can specifically pick up to rebuild, you know, our moral consciousness, because morality, a societal morality is dying, and when it is dead and buried, okay, it is the end for all of us. Because at the end of the day, you understand, these are all fallouts of, you know, moral decadence in society. You understand? And it is growing, okay, because society is accepting. You have a church. One young man with no fixed working address comes along. This young man was just a struggling young man prior to that time. Comes along, drives in a big car, donates some big money in church. The next you make him a deacon. You're not interested in what this man is doing. At the end of the day, okay, you are culpable. We are all part of this whole thing. So we've got to play our parts from the religious leadership, you know, point of view, from our you know, parenting, from, you know, just neighbors in the neighborhood, in the area, friends. We've got to look after each other. The truth is this: all this gear, there is no way they are durable, because at the end of the day, everything you have done to get that gear. As a matter of fact, it is nonsense, ego, nonsense, because from what we have seen, you know, so far in some of the cases we have followed, it doesn't. It's just ephemeral, you know. It's not even. I don't know how to say it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't. For some of them, for some of them, you know, it is something about their parents, about their brothers, about their sisters, about their girlfriends, about their friends, at the expense, very serious expense of somebody, or sometimes themselves. I saw a footage of that young man the other day. I played it here, you know, who was trying to propose to a girlfriend, and the girl was saying, you know, he agreed, and the boy was saying he sacrificed his manhood for the girl. I mean, these are serious matters. You know, as small as that matters. I mean, you are lusting after a girl. You want to impress the girl. You went out of your way to sacrifice your life to impress the girl. People are doing it for that. You have one girl you cannot talk to, and you see one boy who they say is a Yahoo Plus guy. You want to be initiated. You want to be initiated so that eventually you can muscle some monies and get the girl, and of course, and that's it. You understand? I have this one footage I want to play, which is the guy was speaking about. I was able to pick some of the things he was saying. You know, it's so part of the whole nonsense. Let's see this, please.
He said, laptop Gaza. He said, how come? Anaba ya sikwa. Ni uwe. I'm not seeing aliens. Ndiana ya ndio ba sama aliens. I want aliens. Grata. If I knew to confirm, I am an aliens on the Yoruba no way you know. I am go top sheet. I got the lay ma. Now for the lean the deliver you did enough. He say, we are boy you. He say, it will not be game as we. He say, fed them out. He say, you looking for John. I'll do it back to sender. I made a do bad thing. I don't make boom mad. I don't make boom mad. Yeah, go. I don't make boom go. Why did you happen? Couldn't do with laptop? What? This is laptop. Makana. Enjoy that one. You're not any fine. Those days in our so it's our turn to retrieve those things back. Are you hearing me? So people should go and be striking. Man, I wouldn't have my picture, then I wouldn't want to look at. To go up before.
He said,
more. Not if I talk.
a year ago.
We have a band that I have a band that
I can always.
test out. I didn't wish in the lobby say 2 of medicine, 9 medicine you take walk. You hear me? If you like, if it be just ordinary ash, it will work for you. I can't need the abroad. No bath today, no more your reaction. And I've been there. If you see, you will really like I said. What job your sister? Are they on? Are they off? Are they switched off? Battery low. Why? It's not there. No one. Only if I can let out.
Genuinely, you know, I must say this. Genuinely, Nigeria is in a very precarious state. There's no doubt, and the reason is because we have probably the worst leadership we have ever had. You know, in the president of Nigeria and the leadership of the Nigerian, you know, people. This is the worst government we've ever in the history of the country. I make bold to say so. Just today, a pound sterling, you know, is exchanging for about 682 naira today. It was about 680 yesterday. You know, it's been rising steadily. Before this government came on board, a pound sterling was hardly more than 350 naira. So that's an example. So many other things, understand? And a fallout of all of these things will, you know, make issues like this, you know, become even more problematic. Problematic because somebody who was able to use 10,000 naira before this government came on board to feed for at least 2 weeks can no longer use 10,000 naira to feed for a day. And so our society is beginning to worship a lot more people who are able to throw some money around here and there and all that. So it will be very challenging. But my major concern really is this. Leaving Nigeria out of the equation right now, looking at those states, you know, probably in the event that if there is no Nigeria in a few years' time, okay, which we are edging towards, okay, and all of that. So Edo State as a place where we are from remains, okay, and all of that. We need people, human beings, to build a nation. You understand? Nations are not built, you know, from the blues. People work hard to build a nation. People work hard, people study, people get trained to fill those positions of responsibilities, you know, where nation building can occur. You understand? So if predominantly the young people we have, okay, their mind is taken away from hard work to fit into areas where we can contribute to our nation, contribute to our development, but they are now the ones who are traveling through Libya to go abroad. They are doing that. Some of them are getting enslaved on the way, and the ones who are into this ritual killing, they are doing that. The ones who are doing different kinds of social vices, they are doing it. How many people do we have left, really? And amongst the pool of these guys who are involved in this misguided, you know, conduct, as it were, amongst them, you know, if society was you know, well defined, you know, properly structured, and everything okay, amongst them, we probably will have governors who will do well to redeem our states. We probably will have local government chairmen. We probably will have those engineers that will help to construct those bridges that we need. We probably will have those different kinds of things that will build society. Now, if we are not losing them to these kind of things, what is the hope that we will ever get out of these doldrums that we find ourselves right now? So, I believe very strongly that we all have some role to play. I'm really concerned. I'm very passionate about what the future of our place is from. Look, man, wherever we are, not many of us watching me right now, many of us may not even live in Nigeria. We're not living in Nigeria, you know, we live elsewhere. But at the end of the day, you know, where we are from is where we are from. You understand? And our primary constituency is where we are from. It is the place, you know, we can hold very true allegiance to. Some of us, where we are, we consider it temporary. I speak to a lot of people on a daily basis who say, I've left Nigeria for the past 40 years, for the past 30 years, for the past 20-something years. Some of us fall into some of those categories. And we are hoping that we can retire where we are and come back home. You understand what I'm saying now? But what home are we coming to? The home that is already eating herself. You understand what I'm saying? The product of the home is already eating, you know, the home itself. So you look at it, that's why I say this problem is a dangerous time bomb that, you know, will only consume all of us. You understand? I see footages online, boys partying, and, you know, people who work hard are not celebrated anymore. You know, they are not celebrated. They are even, people even make jest of them. These guys move, they go and do some things in Cambodia, they go and do some things in wherever they go to. You understand? They come back, society celebrates them. You know, musicians use their names to sing. You know, everybody is looking to be like that. We are all culpable. Like I said, I may not have the whole template for this matter, but this is an issue, a very serious issue that I think that as a society, the responsibility does not rest on just one person or a few persons. It is resting on all of us. For the young men and the women, the earlier we begin to redefine what our value system should be, the earlier we begin to redefine, to understand that this is not the way. Because when you are born into this life, okay, you are born as a human being, your responsibility is not just to yourself. You owe a responsibility to your society. You owe a responsibility to humanity, which means that every error, you know, every error we make, every misguided thing we embrace is rubbing off on everything, and it's sad. It's sad. Some people are trying to trivialize to say, man, oh man, this one is acting, the other one is acting. I am not just talking about whether there's something acting, I cannot prove them. I am not just talking about even these, you know, things happening publicly, occasionally that we see. You understand? I'm talking about what I saw with my eyes when I went to Nigeria. You understand what I'm saying? They call it thing, whether casket or whatever, you know, or coffin. You know, they pay millions. You know, at the time it was what I want before be 2 million. You were just wondering and all of that. And Yahoo Plus guys, so you know, see them. You know, they drive in flashy cars. You understand? Look, let's not imitate them. The rest of us, okay, those when they queue, please, as a society, let's understand that this thing will not lead us anywhere. And again, all hands should be on deck. You owe a duty to live a proper life. All of us do. All of us do. We cannot just look at the factors of today, you know, and believe that they are going to be permanent, and we just follow those. For many of us, your heart is not agreeing with it, but something is pushing you. Please refrain. And for parents, let's check out our children, our brothers, friends. Let's check out the people around us, man. You know, this is important. And again, in our society, you know, there's a lot of mental health problem. You understand? And we have not developed the mechanism to be able to support ourselves. You understand? But we must understand this. You understand? A lot of mental health issues is coming into, even those who are on queue, who are misguided. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of mental health issues coming into this matter, that even leading so many to get misguided. Apart from the young people, some parents, I hear that some parents are encouraging their children. Some parents even tell their children, say, you know the shame, go see Osahon. Osahon, he never reach your age. You understand? Go and look at him. Look at what he's doing with money. They challenge their children to travel this lane. We're in a problem. We have a very deep problem on our hands, and there is no way these problems can be solved if we don't take proactive measures. And for those who are the custodian of the laws of our land, the House of Assembly, this is one area that I believe that we need to look at. We need to look at anybody without a visible means of income. People should be suspected and arrested and verified. Let us begin to criminalize these kind of things, because at the end of the day, this is a challenge to every hard-working Edo man, every hard-working Nigerian, that is waiting to earn from his sweat and waking up to see one neighbor who does nothing, is driving one flashy car or two, spray money here and there. They should be investigated. If they don't have any verifiable means of income, you understand what I'm saying now? The issue should be picked with them from the stable of the state. It's very important. Maybe that because right now there are no deterrents. Nobody's afraid of anything. Some of these young people will not be misguided if they know that there is something that could say, what are you doing? This is my opinion. But I think that for us to have a better society, we need to build a better people. Right now, the few who are supposed to be better people, many of them are just getting out of the way. Building a better society may become even more difficult. So my people, I'm going to consider, discuss this with my, the comrade and friends. Maybe it's a matter that I would like to pick up every once in a while to talk about it. That's the least we can do. Probably hope that society will gradually key into it and let begin to find ways of addressing, this issue and many other issues like this that challenges the future of Edo State, the future of all surrounding states, and of course the future of Nigeria, if there will be a Nigeria in the future. But for now, what we see and it is playing out, for those who may not be aware, Sari Dokubo has already declared a Republic of Biafra government, and they've named their officers and all of that. I don't know what their plans are, but apparently they are not trying to take it by force, make Biafra a reality by force. And meanwhile, some people are warming up at the level of Oduduwa. We don't know what's going to come out from there. Everything is just a problem. Everything. The Benima says, the meaning of that is that where do we really address the matters from? But for me, the only area to start addressing this matter from on the wider spectrum is for Buhari to do the needful, resign, and probably go into exile, leave Nigeria, and let Nigeria be governed by people who can pick up these bits and pieces, come back. This government, in my next broadcast, subsequently, I'm going to be talking about how deeply entrenched in decadence that the Buhari government has plunged Nigeria into. How deeply entrenched in poverty, how deeply entrenched in corruption has the Buhari government, driven Nigeria to. I'll put some things together. I'm going to be talking about that, at some point. You understand what I'm saying? But on that note, my people, I just say, let me flag off this matter. Let's start talking about it. It should be an issue. But for those who are glorifying this, clapping, we don't need to. Please share your broadcast if you can. I will appreciate that. Let it go around. Let's begin to talk about it. Everywhere, we should be talking about this. Let's not glorify it anymore. Let us begin to call it what it is. This is bad for our society. This is evil for our society. And everybody who's involved in this, okay, they should not have anywhere they put their face to where they get glory from. They should be antagonized and even called criminals because that's what they are. That's what they are. So my young people, I'm a young man myself. Let's be guided. Let's be guided. We all like money. In fact, we all need money, all of us. But there are ways we can make this money where society will be healthy and the future of our nation would be a better place for all of us. Because not the only we want to pass through this world now. Others are coming. Multi-millions, if not billions. They will still be born, even when many of us are gone. So why are we going to live in a society that people will not, gloriously emulate? Because that's what we are building. Because at the end of the day, when other generations are coming and they are saying this, it is what they know. Ritual killing, Yahoo Plus. It's a time bomb waiting to explode. So do people, Nigerians, let's wake up. Let's not glorify this anymore. Let's begin to rebuke this and drive it to the dustbin, of history. If we could, the earlier we do, the better. On that note, I want to say thank you for joining us. Share the broadcast if you could. I would appreciate that. It would help somebody, maybe. But until I see you again, have a good time and bye for now.
Make Comrade Show way. Comrade Lante Oriake. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us. Follow us and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show. Make Comrade Show way. Comrade Lante Oriake. Live on Facebook and YouTube.